The vase shatters before I can catch it. Crystal explodes across marble floor in 1,000 glittering pieces, each one probably worth more than my monthly rent. My heart stops. 2 months of perfecting invisibility in Dante Moretti's penthouse. 2 months of cleaning around priceless artifacts without incident. And I've just destroyed something that likely cost more than my car. He's going to fire me. Worse, he's going to ask questions. My phone buzzes again on the side table where I left it. The 4th call, in 10 minutes. I don't need to look to know it's Marcus. He's been escalating all week, ever since he's somehow discovered where I work. The text started yesterday. You can't hide from me, Maya. Sophia is my daughter. I have rights. My hands shake as I kneel to gather the broken pieces. Blood wells from a cut on my palm. I didn't even feel it happen. The crimson drops fall onto white marbles, spreading like accusations. Leave it. The voice freezes me in place. I hadn't heard him enter. Dante Moretti moves like smoke through his own home, silent and deliberate. At 36, he commands the largest private security empire in the city, and everyone knows private security. It's just a polite phrase for something much darker. I'm so sorry, Mr. Moretti, I say, not turning around. My voice sounds steadier than I feel. I'll replace it. I can pay in installments, I said. Leave it. Closer now. Can smell his cologne, something expensive and woody. Look at me, Maya. I stand slowly, hiding my bleeding hand behind my back. Dante stands 3 feet away in a black suit that probably costs more than I made all last year. Dark hair, sharp jaw, eyes like midnight that miss nothing. He's looking at me the way he always does, like he's reading a contract written in invisible ink. It's just a vase, he says quietly. Too quietly. Dante Moretti doesn't do quiet unless he's angry. What I want to know is why you're shaking. Your hands were steady when you arranged the flowers this morning. I watched you handle a Ming Dynasty bowl last week without hesitation. He steps closer, and I resist the urge to step back. So why are you terrified now over broken crystal? Because my ex-husband is calling. Because he found me. Because I can't afford to lose this job and the anonymity it provides. Because if I get fired, I'll have to find new work, leave a trail, and Marcus will use it to find Sophia. It was careless, I manage. It won't happen again. Dante's eyes narrow. Then his gaze drops to my arm, the long sleeve I'm always careful to keep in place. Today it's ridden up slightly, exposing the edge of a bruise. An old one, fading to yellow-green, but unmistakable. His expression doesn't change, but something in the air does. How long? He asks. How long what? How long since someone put their hands on you? The question hits like a physical blow. I yank my sleeve down. I don't know what you flinch. His voice is still quiet, but there's steel underneath now. Every time I move suddenly, every time I raise my voice on a phone call. You've been working here for 2 months and you flinch like someone who's been taught to expect pain. My phone erupts with buzzing again. This time it doesn't stop. A call that keeps ringing, demanding attention. Dante's gaze flicks to the side table. You're going to answer that? No. How many times has he called today? The pronoun lands with precision. He's already connected the dots. It's handled. I lie. It's nothing. Maya. The way he says my name makes me look up. His expression hasn't softened, but something else has entered it. Something almost like recognition. I employ 47 people in this building alone. I know everyone's coffee order, their children's names, their salary requirements. You think I don't notice when one of them is running from something? My throat tightens. I can't afford to lose this job. You're not going to. The phone finally stops ringing. For exactly 5 seconds, then it buzzes with an incoming text. I move to grab it, to silence it, but Dante's faster. He picks it up, and I watch the color drain from the world as he reads the screen. His jaw tightens. When he looks up at me, his eyes have gone flat and cold, the expression I've seen him wear during tense phone calls with people who don't call back. I know where you work now, Maya, he reads aloud. The penthouse on 5th. Nice upgrade. Does your boss know you're keeping his daughter from her father? The room tilts. Marcus knows. He knows where I am, where Sophia is after school, everything. Dante sets the phone down with careful precision. Who is he? My ex-husband. The words come out hollow. He's not supposed to contact me. There's a restraining order, but he doesn't. His name, Marcus Chun. But there's nothing you can do. His family has lawyers, connections, Maya. Dante's voice cuts through my spiral. Do you know what I do for a living? I nod slowly. Everyone knows. They just don't say it out loud. Then you know that restraining orders are pieces of paper. He straightens his cuffs, a gesture so casual it's almost frightening. I deal in guarantees I don't understand. Dante looks at me, and for the first time since I started working here, I see something other than professional distance in his expression. Something sharp and protective and dangerous. You will, he says. But first, we need to talk about the gala tonight. The dress is the color of blood and confidence. Crimson silk that clings before flowing to the floor. The boutique stylist had known exactly what was needed, not to hide, but to announce. My hair falls in waves over bare shoulders, and the diamond earrings Dante sent over catch the light with every breath. I don't recognize the woman in the mirror. You look like a queen, my mother had whispered when I picked up Sophia earlier. Sophia had simply stared, then asked if I was going to a ball like a princess. Now, standing in Dante's foyer as he descends the stairs in a black tuxedo, I wonder what story I'm actually living. Maya. He stops in front of me, and for the first time since I've known him, Dante Moretti looks genuinely surprised. You're going to stop traffic. That's the point, isn't it? My voice sounds braver than I feel. You'll make more than an impression. He offers his arm. Ready? No. But I take his arm anyway. What do I say when people ask questions? As little as possible. Let them wonder. Mystery is power, Maya. The Meridian Hotel ballroom looks like a fever dream of wealth. Crystal chandeliers cast rainbow prisms across silk-draped walls. When Dante and I enter, there's a ripple, a shift in attention like a stone dropped in still water. Heads turn. Conversations pause. Dante's hand settles at the small of my back, warm and possessive. We circulate through the crowd, Dante introducing me to senators and CEOs who eye me with everything from curiosity to barely concealed disdain. I catch fragments of whispered conversations. Never brings anyone to these events. Where did she come from? Heard she works for him. Then I see him. Marcus stands near the bar with a blonde woman, whose jewelry probably costs more than my mother's house. His fiancée, the one his mother always wanted him to marry. He sees me at the same moment. His champagne glass stops halfway to his mouth. Dante, I whisper, my grip tightening on his arm. He's here. I know. Dante's voice is calm, but his hand presses more firmly against my back. Breathe, Maya. You're not the woman he married anymore. We should avoid him, no. Dante turns us in Marcus's direction with deliberate intent. We don't avoid anything. Marcus reaches us with his fiancée in tow, his expression a careful mask of surprise. But I see the rage simmering underneath. Maya. He says my name like an accusation. What a surprise. I didn't realize you traveled in these circles. Marcus. I'm proud of how steady my voice sounds. Congratulations on your engagement. His fiancée Bridget looks between us with confusion. I'm sorry, do you two know each other? We were married, Marcus says, his smile sharp. Before Maya decided to take our daughter and disappear in the middle of the night. Dante's hand moves from my back to my waist, pulling me closer to his side. The message is unmistakable. That must have been difficult, Bridget says awkwardly. We're not divorced, Marcus continues, eyes locked on mine. She abandoned the marriage, took Sophia without my consent. I've been looking for them for months. The lie is so smooth that for a moment I feel the old fear rising. Is that so? Dante's voice cuts through the tension like a blade. Strange. The restraining order filed 8 months ago tells a different story. Marcus's face flushes. That was a misunderstanding. Maya's standing right here, I interrupt. And Maya doesn't need you speaking for her anymore. Sophia is my daughter, Marcus hisses, dropping the facade. You can't keep her from me. I have rights? Rights? Dante's tone drops to that dangerous quiet. You have the right to remain 50 feet away from Maya. You're currently violating that. This is a public event. This is my event, Dante corrects. My family's foundation is hosting, which means you're threatening someone under my protection. Marcus laughs, ugly and sharp. Your protection? Everyone knows what you are, Moretti. Maya's just your careful. The single word stops Marcus mid-sentence. Choose your next words very carefully. The space around us has grown quiet. People are watching now, pretending not to, but absolutely listening. Marcus looks at me, then at Dante's hand on my waist. This is just a job to you, isn't it, Maya? Graded from cleaning his floors to warming his... Dante moves before I can process it. Not violently, he simply steps forward, putting himself between us. When he speaks, his voice carries across the suddenly silent section of the ballroom. She's not just my maid. The declaration lands like a detonation. Maya Torres is under my protection now. Permanently. Dante's eyes never leave Marcus's face. Any attempt to contact her, to approach her, to so much as speak her name will be considered a personal insult to me. The blood drains from Marcus's face. You can't. I can. And I am. Dante's smile is all teeth. Sophia is safe. Maya's safe. You're going to walk away now and never come back. Bridget pulls at Marcus's arm, her face pale. Marcus stands frozen, rage and fear warring in his expression. This isn't over, he finally manages. Yes, Dante says quietly. It is. I watch Marcus's retreat through the crowd and slowly become aware of the hundreds of eyes now fixed on us. On me. Dante turns back to me, his hand finding mine and threading our fingers together. All right? He asks softly. I nod, not trusting my voice, because I don't know if I'm all right. Don't know what I am anymore. But I know what I've become in the last 5 minutes. Dante Moretti's. And everyone in this room knows it too. 48 hours after the gala, my entire life fits into the back of Dante's SUV. 3 suitcases, 2 boxes of Sophia's toys, and a faded blue blanket she's had since she was born. Everything else, the cheap furniture, the kitchen supplies, the life I'd built in that cramped apartment stays behind like a shed skin. Is this our new house? Sophia asks from her booster seat, eyes wide as we pull into the underground garage. It's so big. It's Mr. Moretti's house, I correct gently. We're staying here for a while. How long is a while? I don't have an answer for that. Dante meets us in the private elevator, kneeling to Sophia's eye level with an ease that surprises me. You must be Sophia. I'm Dante. Sophia studies him with the serious intensity only 8-year-olds can muster. Mummy says you're helping us. Are you her boyfriend? My face flames. Sophia, not yet, Dante says, and something in his tone makes my breath catch. But I'm hoping your mum will give me a chance. He stands, producing a small wrapped box from his pocket. I heard you like dinosaurs. Sophia tears into the wrapping to reveal a limited edition. Velociraptor figure she's been begging for since her birthday. Her squeal of delight echoes in the marble-floored foyer. What do you say, Sophia? I prompt. Thank you. She throws her arms around Dante's legs. He freezes for just a moment before his hand settles gently on her head, and I see something vulnerable flash across his face. The guest room prepared for Sophia looks like something from a magazine, pale purple walls. A canopy bed, shelves already stocked with books and toys. There's even a window seat overlooking the city, cushioned in soft fabric. This is mine? Sophia whispers, awestruck. All yours, Dante confirms. The closet is full of clothes in your size, but if you don't like them, we'll get different ones. After Sophia runs off to explore every corner, I turn to Dante in the hallway. This is too much. It's a bedroom, Maya. A bedroom that costs more to furnish than most people's annual salary. I cross my arms. The clothes, the toys, the school enrollment are doing too much. I'm doing what's necessary. His expression is unreadable. Sophia deserves stability, security, a childhood that doesn't involve running. The words hit too close to home. Is that what you didn't have? Before he can answer, a man in a dark suit appears at the end of the hallway. Tall, broad-shouldered, with a scar bisecting his left eyebrow. Maya, this is Luca, Dante says. My head of security. He'll brief you on protocols. The next 20 minutes are a crash course in living like someone with enemies. Don't leave without security. Don't answer unknown numbers. Don't post on social media. Every entrance and exit is monitored. Panic buttons in every room. Sophia's school has been notified. Discreet guards will shadow her at a distance. This is insane, I mutter after Luca leaves. This is necessary, Dante corrects. Marcus made a threat at the gala. We have to assume he meant it. That night, after Sophia falls asleep clutching her new dinosaur, I find myself too wired to rest. The penthouse is silent except for the distant hum of the city below. I wander through rooms that still don't feel real. The chef's kitchen I'm afraid to cook in. The library with first editions behind glass. The gym that's better equipped than most commercial facilities. I find Dante on the terrace, jacket discarded, tie loosened, staring at the glittering cityscape with a glass of whiskey in his hand. Can't sleep? He asks without turning. Strange bed. I join him at the railing, keeping a careful distance between us. Thank you for today. For Sophia. She hasn't smiled like that in months. She's a good kid. Dante takes a sip of his drink. Smart, cautious, but not broken. You did that. Kept her whole despite everything. I'm her mother. It's my job. My mother tried. The words are quiet, weighted with old pain. She tried to protect me from my father for years. Made excuses for his temper. Hid the bruises. Told me it was normal. That all families were like ours. I wait, sensing he needs to say this. She tried to leave him 3 times, Dante continues. The first 2 times, he found us within days. Dragged us back. Made her pay for the attempt. His jaw tightens. The 3rd time, she didn't make it out of the house. My breath catches. Dante. I was 10. Old enough to understand what I was seeing. Too young to stop it. He finally looks at me. And the raw grief in his eyes makes my chest ache. He went to prison. Died there 5 years later. And I made a promise at my mother's grave that I would never become him. That I'd use whatever power I had to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. Understanding crashes over me. That's why you're doing this. Not for business leverage. Not for appearances. Maybe at first, he admits. But the moment I saw the fear in your eyes when that phone rang, he shakes his head. You reminded me of her, and I couldn't walk away. We stand in silence, the city breathing around us. Am I just your redemption project? I ask finally. Your chance to save the woman you couldn't save before. Dante turns to face me fully, and the intensity in his gaze steals my breath. You were, he says quietly, for about 5 minutes. Then Sophia smiled at me in that elevator, and you stood on that terrace looking terrified but defiant, and I realized what? His hand comes up slowly, giving me time to move away. When I don't, his fingers brush my cheek with devastating gentleness. That maybe you're saving me too. The photograph is everywhere. My phone won't stop buzzing with notifications, texts, calls, social media mentions from people I haven't spoken to in years. The tabloid headline screams from newsstands across the city, Moretti's mystery woman. From cleaning lady to crime lord's lover. The image is intimate without being scandalous. Dante's lips pressed to my temple at the gala, his hand possessive at my waist, my eyes closed like I'm savoring the moment. We look like we're in love. Don't read the comments, Luca advises, finding me frozen in the kitchen with my phone clutched in white-knuckled hands. Too late. I've already seen them. Gold digger sleeping her way to the top, poor kid. Having a mother like that, my former co-workers from the hospital have reached out some congratulatory. Others clearly fishing for gossip. 3 women I cleaned houses with sent messages ranging from good for you to thinly veiled accusations of prostitution. Maya? Dante's voice cuts through my spiral. He's in gym clothes, hair damp from a morning workout, looking annoyingly calm. Ignore it. The story will be old news by next week. Easy for you to say. Your reputation was already... I catch myself. Already ruined? His smile is wry. Say it. I'm a known criminal, Maya. My reputation can't get worse. But you... He takes the phone from my trembling hands. You're still trying to be respectable. I have a daughter who is safe, happy, and currently eating breakfast with more enthusiasm than I've ever seen a child attack pancakes. He sets my phone face down on the counter. The people who matter know the truth. Everyone else is irrelevant. I want to believe him. Then the doorbell rings. Luca intercepts the courier, returning with a thick manila envelope. The return address makes my stomach drop. Chan and Associates, Family Law. What is it? Dante asks, reading my expression. I open the envelope with shaking hands. The petition for emergency custody swims before my eyes. Respondent's involvement with organized crime. Unsafe environment for minor child. Immediate temporary custody recommended pending full hearing. The papers slip from my fingers, scattering across marble floor. He's taking her. My voice sounds distant, detached. Marcus is taking Sophia. Dante scoops up the papers, scanning them with a lawyer's efficiency. His expression darkens with each line. He's citing the tabloid photo as evidence, I continue, the words tumbling out in a panic. My involvement with you, the mansion, your known criminal associations, he's going to use everything against me. His family has the best lawyers, connections to judges. I can't fight this. I don't have the money or the Maya. Dante grips my shoulders, forcing me to meet his eyes. Breathe. Sophia is not going anywhere. You don't understand. The system favors fathers with resources. Marcus's family will paint me as an unfit mother. They'll say I abandoned my marriage, that I'm living with a criminal, that I'm enough. Not harsh, but firm enough to cut through my spiral. Sit down. I sink into a kitchen chair, watching numbly as Dante pulls out his phone and makes a single call. Michael, it's Dante. I need you at the penthouse in 20 minutes. Bring everything we discussed about the Chun family. A pause. All of it. Yes, including the sealed records. Another pause. Good. And Michael? Clear your calendar for the next month. He ends the call and pours me a glass of water I don't remember asking for. Who's Michael? I manage. The best family law attorney in the state. He's been preparing for this since the night of the gala. Dante sits across from me. Marcus was always going to make this move. Maya, we knew it was coming. But the photo, the headlines, are nothing compared to what we have on him. His voice is cold now, calculated. Every NDA violation from his college years. Every sealed police report. The hospital records from the night you fell down the stairs, including the nurse's notes that documented your story, didn't match his. 3 former girlfriends willing to testify about his pattern of abuse. I stare at him. How do you have all that? I told you I know everything about people who threaten what's mine. His gaze holds mine. Marcus Chun filed this petition thinking you were alone, vulnerable, easy to crush. A dangerous smile curves his lips. He miscalculated. 20 minutes later. Michael arrives, a silver-haired man in an impeccable suit carrying a briefcase that probably costs more than my old car. He spreads documents across Dante's dining table like laying out a winning hand. Mr. Chun's petition is aggressive but sloppy, Michael says, adjusting his reading glasses. He's relying on sensationalism rather than substance. We can dismantle it piece by piece. He looks at me. But I need to know, Ms. Torazar, you prepared for this to get ugly. How ugly? Every detail of your marriage will be examined. Every bruise documented. Every 911 call you didn't make will be questioned. His expression softens slightly. It's invasive, painful, but necessary. I think of Sophia, sleeping peacefully in her purple bedroom. Of the way she laughed at breakfast this morning. Of the life I'm building where she doesn't flinch at raised voices. I'll do whatever it takes. Michael nods approvingly. Good. Then here's what happens next. He produces another document, thicker than Marcus's petition. We file a counter-petition with all of this evidence. We request immediate dismissal based on Mr. Chun's documented history of domestic violence. And we make it very clear that if he proceeds, every ugly detail goes public. Blackmail? I ask quietly. Negotiation, Michael corrects. Mr. Chun has 24 hours to withdraw his petition. If he doesn't, we bury him legally. Not physically, he adds, glancing at Dante. legally. After Michael leaves, I find myself alone with Dante again. The relief hasn't hit yet, only exhaustion. Why are you doing all this? I ask. The lawyers, the protection, the everything. This goes so far beyond our arrangement. Dante is quiet for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice is softer than I've ever heard it. Because Sophia deserves a mother who isn't constantly looking over her shoulder. And because you deserve to stop running. He reaches across the table, his hand covering mine. Marcus has 24 hours to back down, Maya. And if he doesn't, he'll learn what it means to threaten Dante Moretti's family. Family. The word hangs between us, weighted with meaning neither of us is ready to examine. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answer. Marcus's voice is tight with barely controlled rage. You think you've won? You think he'll protect you forever? He's using you, Maya, and when he's done, I end the call. My hand doesn't shake this time, he called, Dante says. Not a question. He did. I meet his eyes. I hung up. Something like pride flashes across Dante's face. Good. Outside, the city continues its rhythm, indifferent to our small war. But inside this penthouse, I realize something has shifted. I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm fighting back. Is Mr. Moretti your boyfriend now? Sophia asks the question over breakfast, chocolate chip pancakes forgotten on her plate. She watches me with 8-year-old eyes that see far too much. I fumble with my coffee cup. We're helping each other, sweetheart. It's complicated. That's what adults say when they don't want to tell the truth. She pushes a pancake around with her fork. Emma at school says her mum saw the picture in the magazine. She says you're Mr. Moretti's girlfriend and that's why we live in a fancy house now. My chest tightens. What else did Emma say? That Mr. Moretti is dangerous. That he hurts people. Sophia looks up at me, uncertain. Does he? I open my mouth, unsure how to answer. How do you explain moral complexity to a child who still believes in clear heroes and villains? He protects people, I say finally, like he's protecting us. From Daddy. The casual way she says it breaks my heart. Sophia never calls Marcus Daddy anymore. Just Daddy, with quotes implied. Yes, baby. From him, Sophia nods slowly, processing. Mr. Moretti is nice to me. He remembered I like dinosaurs. And he doesn't yell. She meets my eyes. Daddy used to yell. A lot. I pull her into my arms, breathing in the strawberry scent of her shampoo. You're safe now. That's what matters. But am I teaching her that safety only comes from dangerous men? That protection requires power. I don't know anymore. That evening, Dante returns from a business meeting while I'm helping Sophia with homework. He looks immaculate as always, except for the dark spot on his white shirt cuff. Blood. Not much. Just a small stain he's tried to hide by keeping his jacket on. But I see it. Sophia doesn't. She's too busy showing him her math worksheet, proud of the gold star her new teacher gave her. Excellent work, Dante says, examining her answers with genuine interest. You're already ahead of where I was at your age. After Sophia goes to bed, I find him in his office, the stained shirt already changed, disposed of somewhere I'll never see. Whose blood? I ask without preamble. Dante looks up from his laptop. It's not mine. That's not what I asked. He closes the laptop with careful precision. Maya, Sophia asked me today if you hurt people. I cross my arms. What was I supposed to tell her? The truth. That I protect people. By hurting others. I move closer to his desk. She's 8 years old, Dante. She can't grow up thinking violence is normal. That this life is normal. It's not, he agrees quietly. Which is why I've already made arrangements. I blink. What arrangements? Ashford Academy starts next week, best school in the city. Small classes, emphasis on arts and sciences, nothing like the world I grew up in. He stands, moving around the desk. I've also hired a child therapist. Dr. Sarah Chun specializes in children who've witnessed domestic violence. She'll meet with Sophia twice a week. The air leaves my lungs. You did all that today? I did it 3 days ago. Dante's expression softens. The moment Sophia asked if I was your boyfriend, I knew she was processing the changes in her life. She needs support beyond what we can give her. The word slips out before I can stop it, but Dante doesn't retreat from it. Yes, we. He reaches out, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. Sophia deserves a childhood where fear isn't the baseline, where adults mean safety, not threat, where she can be a kid. You can't protect her from everything, I whisper. Your world will never touch her directly, Dante interrupts. I keep my business separate, Maya, always have. The penthouse is neutral ground. My men know Sophia is off limits for any discussion of business. To them, she's just he pauses. She's just a child who lives here. You're what? I press. What were you going to say? Dante's thumb brushes my cheekbone. I was going to say my daughter, which is insane, I know. I've known her for less than a week. But when she showed me that math worksheet tonight, proud of her gold star, his voice roughens. I felt something I didn't expect to feel. My heart hammers against my ribs. Dante, I know what it's like to grow up in fear, he continues. To watch your mother flinch. To learn that love and violence can coexist in the same house. His eyes hold mine. Your daughter won't know that. I promise you, Maya, whatever I have to do, whoever I have to be, Sophia will grow up safe. I should be scared. Should recognize this as possessiveness, control disguised as protection. But all I feel is relief, and something dangerously close to hope. The blood on your shirt, I say quietly. Will I ever know whose it was? Do you want to? I think about that. About the line between knowing and complicity, about protection and ignorance. No, I admit. I just need to know Sophia will never see it. She won't. Dante's voice carries absolute certainty. I keep the darkness away from the light, Maya. Always. Later that night, I check on Sophia before bed. She's asleep, clutching her velociraptor, peaceful in her purple bedroom that costs more than most apartments. Dante appears in the doorway behind me, his presence solid and reassuring. She's resilient, he murmurs. Stronger than she knows. She gets that from you, he says. And I realize he's not looking at Sophia anymore. He's looking at me. Is Mr. Moretti your boyfriend now? Sophia asks the question over breakfast, chocolate chip pancakes forgotten on her plate. She watches me with 8-year-old eyes that see far too much. I fumble with my coffee cup. We're helping each other, sweetheart. That's what adults say when they don't want to tell the truth. She pushes a pancake around with her fork. Emma at school says her mum saw the picture. She says you're Mr. Moretti's girlfriend, and that's why we live in a fancy house now. My chest tightens. What else did Emma say? That Mr. Moretti is dangerous. That he hurts people. Sophia looks up at me. Does he? How do you explain moral complexity to a child who still believes in heroes and villains? He protects people, I say finally. Like he's protecting us. From Daddy. The casual way she says it breaks my heart. Yes, baby. From him. Sophia nods slowly. Mr. Moretti is nice to me. He remembered I like dinosaurs. He doesn't yell. She meets my eyes. Daddy used to yell. A lot. I pull her into my arms, breathing in the strawberry scent of her shampoo. You're safe now. That's what matters. But am I teaching her that safety only comes from dangerous men? That evening, Dante returns from a business meeting while I'm helping Sophia with homework. He looks immaculate, except for the dark spot on his white shirt cuff. Blood. Sophia doesn't notice. She's too busy showing him her math worksheet, proud of the gold star. Excellent work, Dante says, examining her answers with genuine interest. After Sophia goes to bed, I find him in his office, the stained shirt already changed. Whose blood? I ask without preamble. Dante looks up from his laptop. Not mine. That's not what I asked. Maya, Sophia asked me today if you hurt people. I cross my arms. What was I supposed to tell her? The truth. That I protect people. By hurting others. I move closer. She's 8 years old, Dante. She can't grow up thinking violence is normal. That this life is normal. It's not. He agrees quietly. Which is why I've already made arrangements. I blink. What arrangements? Ashford Academy starts next week, best school in the city. Small classes. Nothing like the world I grew up in. He stands. I've also hired a child therapist. Dr. Sarah Chun specializes in children who've witnessed domestic violence. She'll meet with Sophia twice a week. The air leaves my lungs. You did all that today? 3 days ago. Dante's expression softens. The moment Sophia asked if I was your boyfriend, I knew she was processing everything. She needs support beyond what we can give her. We? The word slips out, but Dante doesn't retreat from it. Yes, we. He reaches out, tucking hair behind my ear. Sophia deserves a childhood where fear isn't the baseline, where she can be a kid. You can't protect her from everything, I whisper. Your world will never touch her directly, Dante interrupts. I keep my business separate, Maya. The penthouse is neutral ground. Sophia is off limits for any discussion of business. To my men, she's just. He pauses. She's just a child who lives here. You're what? I press. What were you going to say? Dante's thumb brushes my cheekbone. I was going to say, my daughter, which is insane. I've known her less than a week. But when she showed me that math worksheet tonight, so proud, his voice roughens. I felt something I didn't expect. My heart hammers. Dante, I know what it's like to grow up in fear, he continues, to watch your mother flinch, to learn that love and violence can coexist. His eyes hold mine. Your daughter won't know that. Whatever I have to do, whoever I have to be, Sophia will grow up safe. I should be scared. Should recognize this as control disguised as protection. But all I feel is relief. And something dangerously close to hope. The blood on your shirt, I say quietly. Will I ever know whose it was? Do you want to? I think about the line between knowing and complicity. About protection and ignorance. No, I admit. I just need to know Sophia will never see it. She won't. Dante's voice carries absolute certainty. I keep the darkness away from the light. Always. Later I check on Sophia before bed. She's asleep, clutching her velociraptor, peaceful in her purple bedroom. Dante appears in the doorway, his presence solid and reassuring. She's resilient, he murmurs. Stronger than she knows. She gets that from you, he says. And I realize he's not looking at Sophia anymore. He's looking at me. The call from Sophia's new school comes at 2:47 p.m. Miss Torres, this is Principal Anderson at Ashford Academy. Sophia is fine, but there was an incident during pickup. A man claiming to be her father attempted to approach her. My blood turns to ice. Where is she now? Safe in my office with her security detail. But Miss Torres, the man became aggressive when prevented from making contact. Campus security had to escort him off the premises. Marcus knows where she goes to school. I'm in Luca's SUV within minutes. Dante already on the phone, coordinating something I can't hear over the roaring in my ears. Sophia is safe. Sophia is safe. I repeat it like a mantra, but Marcus found her. When we arrive, Sophia sits in the principal's office, clutching her backpack, eyes red from crying. She launches herself into my arms the moment she sees me. I didn't talk to him, Mummy. I did what Mr. Luca taught me. I stayed with Mrs. Peterson and didn't move. You did perfectly, baby. I hold her tight, breathing in her familiar scent. So perfectly. Dante speaks with the principal, while Luca reviews security footage. I catch fragments. Increased presence, legal action, won't happen again. But it did happen. Marcus got close enough to terrify my daughter. We're halfway home when my phone rings. Unknown number. Against Luca's advice, I answer. Did you really think a private school would keep me from my daughter? Marcus's voice is tight with barely controlled rage. How long did you think you could hide behind Moretti? The restraining order means nothing. I have rights, Maya. Sophia is my blood. You have no rights to her, I say, surprised by the steadiness in my voice. Not after what you did, what I did. He laughs, sharp and ugly. I gave you everything. A home, a life, a child. And you thanked me by spreading lies and running to the first criminal who'd take you in. Stay away from Sophia, or what? Your mobster boyfriend will kill me. His voice drips with contempt. You're playing house with a murderer, Maya. How long before he shows his true nature? How long before Sophia sees what you're too desperate to admit? The SUV pulls into the underground garage. Dante stands waiting, phone to his ear, expression thunderous. Stay away from us, I repeat. Then end the call. Dante takes one look at my face and knows. He called. He found her school. He knows her routine. My hands shake as I unbuckle Sophia, who's fallen asleep against her seatbelt. He's not going to stop. No, Dante agrees quietly. He's not. That night after Sophia is settled with hot chocolate and her favorite movie, Dante finds me on the terrace. The city glitters below, oblivious to my small war. Pack a bag, he says without preamble. Both of you. We're leaving tonight. Leaving for where? I have an estate outside the city. 20 acres, gated, private security force. His jaw is tight. Marcus knowing Sophia's routine means he's escalating. The penthouse is secure, but not secure enough. You want us to leave the city? I want you somewhere he can't find you. Dante turns to face me, and there's something new in his eyes. Something fierce and possessive that should frighten me. Somewhere he can't even get close. An hour later, we're in Dante's personal car, not the SUV, something lower profile, driving through rain-slicked streets toward highways that lead away from everything familiar. Sophia sleeps in the back seat, exhausted from fear and tears. How long? I ask quietly. How long do we hide? Until it's handled. Dante's hands tighten on the steering wheel. Until Marcus understands that Sophia is mine to protect now. That you're both. He stops himself, but the word hangs unspoken between us. Mine. Not just protected, not just under his care, but his. The estate appears through the darkness like something from a Gothic novel. Stone walls, iron gates, sprawling grounds lit by strategic lighting. Security personnel appear and disappear like ghosts, professional and invisible. Inside, the house is warmer than I expected. Less showpiece, more home. Dante carries a sleeping Sophia upstairs while I follow, heart pounding with something that might be fear or might be something else entirely. Sophia's new room has already been prepared. How? I don't know. Purple bedding, her favorite stuffed animals somehow transported here, even the dinosaur nightlight from the penthouse. Dante tucks her in with a gentleness that breaks something open in my chest. He checks the window locks once, then again. Tests the door. Examines the panic button installed beside her bed. Dante, I whisper. She's safe. You made her safe. He turns to me, and the expression on his face steals my breath. Not the controlled mask he shows the world. Something raw and desperate. I can't lose her, he says quietly. I can't lose either of you. The confession hangs in the air between us, weighted with meaning we're not ready to name. You're not losing us, I say, moving closer. We're right here. For how long? His hand comes up to cut my face. Until the arrangement ends? Until Marcus gives up? Until you realize you don't need me anymore? Dante, I know this started as protection, he continues, thumb brushing my cheekbone. A business arrangement. But somewhere between the gala and tonight, between Sophia's math homework and Marcus's threats, he stops, jaw working. It stopped being fake for me, Maya. I don't know when, but it did. My heart hammers against my ribs. What are you saying? I'm saying I'm in love with your daughter. And I'm falling in love with you. His eyes hold mine, vulnerable in a way I've never seen. And that terrifies me more than anything Marcus could do. The call from Sophia's new school comes at 2:47 p.m. Ms. Torres, this is Principal Anderson at Ashford Academy. Sophia's fine, but there was an incident. A man claiming to be her father attempted to approach her during pickup. My blood turns to ice. Where is she now? Safe in my office with her security detail. But the man became aggressive when prevented from making contact. Campus security escorted him off the premises. Marcus found her. I'm in Luca's SUV within minutes. Dante already on the phone coordinating something I can't hear over the roaring in my ears. Sophia is safe. Sophia is safe. When we arrive, Sophia sits in the principal's office clutching her backpack, eyes red from crying. She launches herself into my arms. I didn't talk to him, Mummy. I did what Mr. Luca taught me. I stayed with Mrs. Peterson. You did perfectly, baby. I hold her tight. So perfectly. Dante speaks with the principal while Luca reviews security footage. I catch fragments, increased presence, legal action, won't happen again, but it did happen. Marcus got close enough to terrify my daughter. Halfway home, my phone rings. Unknown number. Against Luca's advice, I answer. Did you really think a private school would keep me from my daughter? Marcus's voice is tight with rage. How long can you hide behind Moretti? The restraining order means nothing. I have rights, Maya. Sophia is my blood. You have no rights to her. Not after what you did, what I did. He laughs, sharp and ugly. You're playing house with a murderer. How long before he shows his true nature? How long before Sophia sees what you're too desperate to admit? The SUV pulls into the garage. Dante stands waiting, expression thunderous. Stay away from us, I say, then end the call. Dante takes one look at my face and knows. He called. He found her school. He knows her routine. My hands shake. He's not going to stop. No, Dante agrees quietly. He's not. That night, after Sophia is settled with hot chocolate and her favorite movie, Dante finds me on the terrace. Pack a bag, he says without preamble. Both of you. We're leaving tonight. Leaving for where? I have an estate outside the city. 20 acres, gated, private security. His jaw is tight. Marcus knowing Sophia's routine means he's escalating. We need somewhere he can't reach you. An hour later. We're in Dante's car, something lower profiled, driving through rain-slicked streets. Sophia sleeps in the back seat, exhausted from fear. How long? I ask quietly. How long do we hide? Until it's handled. Dante's hands tighten on the wheel. Until Marcus understands that Sophia is mine to protect now. That you're both. He stops, but the word hangs unspoken. Mine. The estate appears through darkness like something from a Gothic novel. Stone walls, iron gates, sprawling grounds. Security personnel appear and disappear like ghosts. Inside, the house is warmer than expected. Less showpiece, more home. Dante carries Sophia upstairs while I follow, heart pounding. Sophia's new room has already been prepared. Purple bedding, her stuffed animals, even the dinosaur nightlight from the penthouse. Dante tucks her in with a gentleness that breaks something open in my chest. He checks the window locks once, then again. Tests the door. Examines the panic button beside her bed. Dante, I whisper. She's safe. You made her safe. He turns to me, and the expression on his face steals my breath. Not his controlled mask. Something raw and desperate. I can't lose her, he says quietly. I can't lose either of you. The confession hangs between us, weighted with meaning. You're not losing us, I say, moving closer. We're right here. For how long? His hand comes up to cut my face. Until the arrangement ends? Until you realize you don't need me anymore. Dante, I know this started as protection. A business arrangement. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. But somewhere between the gala and tonight, between Sophia's homework and Marcus's threats, he stops. It stopped being fake for me, Maya. I don't know when, but it did. My heart hammers. What are you saying? I'm saying I'm in love with your daughter. His eyes hold mine, vulnerable, and I'm falling in love with you. And that terrifies me more than anything Marcus could do. The words hang in the darkness between us. Real, undeniable, and suddenly, I realized the line between protection and love disappeared weeks ago. I just wasn't ready to see it. Until now. I don't sleep that night. After Dante's confession, he left me standing in Sophia's doorway, murmuring something about checking the perimeter, running away from his own vulnerability, giving me space to process. But how do you process falling in love with a man who was supposed to be temporary protection? At 3 a.m., I find him in the estate's library, still dressed, staring at nothing with a glass of whiskey untouched on the side table. "You're not sleeping either," I observe. He looks up, and there's resignation in his eyes. I shouldn't have said what I said. It was unfair. You didn't sign up for. Don't. I move into the room, closing the door behind me. Don't take it back. Maya, I'm terrified too, I interrupt, my voice shaking. I'm terrified because I swore I'd never trust another man with power over my life. I swore I'd never let Sophia see me depend on someone who could hurt us. Dante stands slowly. I would never. I know. The words come out softer than intended. That's what terrifies me most. That I know it. That I trust you. Despite everything I learned with Marcus. The space between us feels charged, dangerous in a different way than before. When did you know? I ask. When did it stop being fake for you? Dante's quiet for a long moment. The morning Sophia showed me her math homework. She was so proud of that gold star, and when she smiled at me, his voice roughens. I realize I'd do anything to keep that smile safe. And then you walked in, worried about being late for some appointment you'd already told me about twice. Hair still wet from the shower, and I thought... He stopped. Thought what? That I wanted this. Every morning, you and Sophia and pancakes and math homework. The ordinary things I never thought I'd have. My throat tightens. Dante, I'm not ordinary. I'm a single mother running from an abusive ex, living under your protection because I had nowhere else to go. That's not the foundation for what, love? He moves closer. Maya, I've built an empire on unstable foundations. I know the difference between something fragile and something that can last. And what are we? We're both, he says simply. Fragile because we're still learning to trust each other. Lasting because neither of us enters into things lightly. I want to believe him. Want to believe this isn't just his savior complex or my desperate need for security. How do I know this is real? I whisper. How do I know I'm not just trading one cage for another? Dante crosses to his desk, pulls out a folder, and hands it to me. Inside are bank statements, property deeds, legal documents I don't immediately understand. What is this? A trust fund in Sophia's name. Enough for college, graduate school, whatever she wants. He points to another document. A bank account in your name only. I added to it every week since you moved in. There's almost $200,000 now. My hands shake. Why are you showing me this? Because you need to know you can leave. His eyes hold mine. Tomorrow, next week, next year, whenever you want. You're not trapped here, Maya. You're choosing to stay. There's a difference. Tears blur my vision. Marcus never let me have my own bank account. I'm not Marcus. Dante's voice is gentle, but firm. I won't become him. And if you ever think I am, you take Sophia and that money, and you run. Do you understand? I nod, unable to speak. So I'm asking you now, without pressure, without obligation. He steps closer, cupping my face in his hands. Are you staying because you need to, or because you want to? I think about the past weeks. About how Dante checks Sophia's homework with genuine interest. How he learned she likes her sandwiches cut diagonally. How he stands in doorways watching us like he's trying to memorize the moment. How his touch has shifted from protective to tender without me noticing when I'm staying because I'm falling in love with you too, I admit. And that terrifies me. Good. His thumb brushes away a tear. It should. Love is terrifying, but it's also worth it. I was going to say inevitable. His lips curved slightly. But worth it works too. When he kisses me, it's different from the performative gestures at the gala. This is real, honest. A promise neither of us planned to make. When we break apart, I rest my forehead against his. What happens now? I ask. Now? Dante's voice is rough. Now we end this with Marcus. Permanently. So we can start living without looking over our shoulders. How? His expression hardens with determination. By giving him exactly what he wanted. A fight. But on my terms. 6 weeks. That's how long we've been at the estate when Dante announces he's hosting a charity gala. Here, where we've been hiding. Are you insane? I ask, watching workers transform the ballroom. Marcus is still out there. You want to advertise exactly where we are. I want to end this. Dante's voice is calm, but there's steel underneath. Marcus has spent 6 weeks making noise-filing motions, calling reporters, trying to find leverage. It's time to show him he has none. By inviting him to a party? By inviting everyone who matters. 200 witnesses to watch him fail one last time. The guest list reads like a who's who of power in the city. Politicians, judges, business leaders. And buried in the middle, Marcus Chun and guest. You invited him, I say flatly. I did. Dante doesn't apologize. He'll come. His ego won't let him refuse. The night of the gala I wear emerald green, the same color as the ring I still wear. The one that started as a prop and became something else. Sophia is tucked safely in her room with Sophie, promised she can watch a movie and stay up late. You look like a queen, Dante says, appearing behind me in the mirror. I feel like bait. You're not bait. He presses a kiss to my bare shoulder. You're the woman I'm going to marry. There's a difference. My breath catches. Dante, I know the timing is terrible, he continues. I know we said we'd take this slow, but I also know I don't want to spend another day pretending this is temporary. Before I can respond, Luca appears in the doorway. They're arriving. The ballroom fills quickly. I recognize faces from the first gala: Senator Whitmore, Governor Matthews, the society women who'd whispered about me. This time, their whispers sound different. Curious rather than cruel. Dante keeps me close, his hand possessive at my waist. But it doesn't feel like performance anymore. It feels like belonging. Then Marcus arrives. He enters with Bridget on his arm, both dressed like they're attending a coronation. His eyes scan the room until they find me. The smile that crosses his face is sharp as a blade. Showtime, Dante murmurs. Marcus approaches with predatory confidence. Moretti, Maya, what a lovely reunion, Mr. Chun. Dante's voice is glacial. Interesting that you'd accept my invitation. How could I refuse? Especially when I have such interesting news to share. Marcus pulls an envelope from his jacket. A signed affidavit from 3 former household staff members. They're prepared to testify that your relationship with Maya is entirely fabricated. A sham designed to keep me from my daughter. My stomach drops. But Dante doesn't even flinch. Is that so? He says mildly. 3 staff members are fired for stealing and selling information to tabloids. Those staff members? Marcus's smile falters. They're credible witnesses. They're convicted felons as of this morning, Dante interrupts. Turns out selling private information about a minor violates several federal laws. My lawyers were very thorough. The color drains from Marcus's face. But thank you for bringing this, Dante continues, taking the envelope. It'll make excellent evidence for the defamation suit we're filing tomorrow. You can't. I can. Dante's voice drops to that dangerous quiet. And I am. You've spent 6 weeks harassing Maya, stalking Sophia, trying to destroy what we're building. It ends tonight. The room has gone quiet. Everyone is watching now. You think you've won? Marcus hisses. You think playing house makes you her family? No, Dante says. He turns to me, and something in his expression makes my heart stop. But this might. He reaches into his pocket and produces a ring box. Not the emerald I'm wearing. Something new. When he opens it, a diamond catches the light, surrounded by smaller stones that match Sophia's birthstone. Maya Torres, he says, loud enough for the room to hear. 6 weeks ago, I told this room you were under my protection. I undersold it. He takes my hand and I realize he's trembling slightly. You're not just under my protection. You're my partner, my family, the woman I want to spend every morning with. Arguing over Sophia's homework and whether dinosaurs are appropriate breakfast conversation. Laughter ripples through the crowd. Tears blur my vision. I know this started as an arrangement, Dante continues, his voice softer now. But somewhere along the way, it became my life. You became my life. Both of you. He drops to one knee, and the room collectively gasps. So I'm asking you now, in front of everyone who matters, will you marry me? For real this time? I look at Marcus, whose face has gone from pale to purple with rage. At Bridget, who's already backing away. At the 200 witnesses watching this moment. Then I look at Dante, at the man who learned Sophia's favorite color, who hired a therapist without being asked, who gave me bank accounts and freedom and called it love. Yes, I say, my voice steady and sure. Yes, I'll marry you. The room erupts in applause as Dante slides the ring onto my finger. When he stands and kisses me, it's not for show. It's real. And Marcus is already gone. 3 months later, the courthouse wedding is small. Just Luca, Sophie, and Sophia as witnesses. No spectacle, no cameras, no society pages. Just vows that mean something. Sophia wears a purple dress she picked out herself, clutching a small bouquet of daisies. She stands between us as the judge speaks, her hand in mine, her other hand in Dante's. Do you, Dante Moretti, take Maya Torres to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do, no hesitation. His eyes hold mine with absolute certainty. And do you, Maya Torres, take Dante Moretti to be your lawfully wedded husband? I look at the man who learned to make dinosaur-shaped pancakes for my daughter, who sits through endless tea parties without complaint, who built us a life where fear isn't the baseline. I do. When we kiss, Sophia cheers, the judge smiles. And for the first time in years, I feel completely safe. The legal paperwork came through last week. Marcus's parental rights permanently terminated. Not through violence or threats, but through documentation. Hospital records, police reports, testimony from 3 former girlfriends. Marcus's own lawyer advised him to sign rather than face criminal charges for perjury and harassment. He signed. The final hearing lasted 11 minutes. The judge looked at the evidence, looked at Marcus's lawyer's pale face, and ruled without hesitation. Sophia was mine. Legally, permanently, irrevocably mine. Marcus left the state the next day. His family's foundation quietly removed his name from all materials. Bridget called off the engagement. The last I heard, he took a position in Hong Kong far enough that he'd never accidentally run into us. Mrs. Moretti, Dante says against my lips, and the name sounds right. Not like a cage, like coming home. We celebrate with lunch at Sophia's favorite restaurant, the one with crayons on every table and a kid's menu shaped like a dinosaur. Sophia colors happily, while Dante and I share stolen glances across the table. When can I tell everyone at school? Sophia asks, not looking up from her masterpiece. Tell them what, baby? I ask. That Dante's my dad now. She says it casually, like it's the most natural thing in the world. Emma asked if he was going to adopt me like her stepdad adopted her. Dante goes very still beside me. Sophia, you said I could call you Dad at home, she continues, finally looking up. But can I call you Dad everywhere? I watch Dante's throat work, his eyes suspiciously bright. You can call me whatever you want, sweetheart. Even at school. Especially at school. His voice is rough with emotion. Sophia beams. Okay, Dad. The word transforms him. I watch it happen in real time, the final wall crumbling, the last piece of his armor falling away. Later that night, after Sophia's asleep in her purple bedroom, Dante and I stand in our bedroom, no longer his room or my room, but ours. She called me Dad, he says, staring at nothing. She did. I move into his arms. Because that's what you are. I never thought... He stops, pulling me closer. I never thought I'd have this. A family. A daughter who isn't afraid of me. A wife who chose me not because she needed protection, but because she wanted me. You saved us, I whisper against his chest. No. Dante pulls back, tilting my face up to meet his eyes. You've saved yourself, Maya. You're the one who left Marcus, who kept Sophia safe for 8 years on your own, who built a life from nothing. I just made sure you had the space to do it. Tears blur my vision. We saved each other then. Yes, he agrees softly. We did. I think about the woman I was 6 months ago cleaning his penthouse, trying to be invisible, flinching at sudden movements. That woman seems like a stranger now. What are you thinking? Dante asks. That I don't recognize myself anymore. I touch his face. I'm not scared all the time. I don't wake up wondering if today's the day Marcus finds us. I'm just living. Good. He kisses my forehead. That's all I ever wanted for you. For both of you. Outside, the city continues its rhythm. Somewhere out there, Marcus is nursing his wounds and rebuilding his life away from us. Somewhere, other women are running from other dangerous men. But here, in this moment, in this bedroom, in this estate, with my daughter sleeping peacefully down the hall, I'm not running anymore. I'm home. Dante's phone buzzes on the nightstand. He ignores it. It could be important, I say. Nothing's more important than this. He pulls me closer. Than us. Us. A word that used to terrify me. Now it sounds like promise. Like future. Like the family we chose instead of the one we were given. I love you, I say. The words easier now than they were weeks ago. I love you too. Dante's lips find mine. Both of you, forever. And for the first time in my life, I believe in forever.